Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Bloc. We are here today with Jonah and Whitehouse from DYLI, and I'm super excited to get to talk to them. And I'm super excited to delve into more of what you can do on the DYLI platform because I was telling Jonah right before we started to stream, I was so surprised with how like you can basically, if you are somebody who collects TCGs cards or like even other stuff, because you guys have other things, right? You don't just have TCGs. And how much you can do on the platform, and I found out that you can even do like custom merch and stuff like that, and I was like so surprised because I was like, how are you guys doing TCG and collectibles, and also it's like a kind of like a print on demand type of like designing merch, right? Or am I wrong?
Yeah, so I mean, the point of Dilly is to become like one phrase that I use occasionally is
Mhm.
like the collectibles bazaar, right? Like you
Mhm.
can you can access whatever your hobby is, whatever your interests are, you can access it on Dilly. If that's
Mhm.
TCG, art toys, if it's a specific brand or IP, it doesn't matter.
Mhm.
There's a market for it and there's availability of products for it on Dilly,
Mhm. Mhm.
and all of the underlying features that we bring to that market. But we have this we want to serve IPs and brands
Mhm.
directly,
Mhm.
right? So before we started the show, Whitehouse brought up how we did the Claynosaurs toy drop with Claynosaurs, right? So that wasn't me buying a bunch of Claynosaurs toys and trying to resell them. That was me
Yeah.
working with the IP. Part of that is also supporting smaller creators and brands as they have their own come ups. And so
Mhm.
a feature set we built a long time ago, which isn't the most heavily used today, but it still exists, is the ability for anyone to produce, merch and items and sell them instantly with no upfront capital. And so that is that print on demand side of things that you discovered
Yeah.
when you were digging in. But you could easily make like a merch line for this podcast or for anything else at no cost to you and just sort of have that operational on Dilly as well.
It is so cool, and like yeah, I remember like browsing the website, and I was like, "They do merch." I was like, "That is so cool." Hey, I should actually get some I should make my own like T-shirts or something like that. I don't know if anybody will buy them, but why not?
It costs nothing to have them, right?
Right? And I wanted to say hi to White House before I start like asking like a bunch of questions to both of you. Hey, White House.
Good morning, good morning. How are you?
What do you mean good morning? Isn't it like
It's
nighttime?
always morning somewhere.
It's always morning somewhere. That's funny. But I'm doing good. I'm so glad that you're here, and I love the Zuki PFP. You should bring that out on X.
I think it might happen one day. I just thought
Yeah.
that what we're going to end up talking about today is just perfect time.
Are we gonna be able to talk about it?
Well,
Cause
we,
I was
we
like
can
wondering.
we can tiptoe certain things.
Okay. So excited. But yeah, Jonah, can you tell me what exactly do you do with Dilly, and like how long ago did the company start? Cuz like I don't think I think I discovered it fairly recently.
Yeah, so Dilly is a end-to-end collectors and collectibles platform. I think the anchor of what Dilly is this ability to vault and consign your,
Mhm.
anything you own to Dilly to our warehouse, and unlock all of the features that we have around the security of your assets and the marketplace and everything else that kind of comes from vaulting with us. But really, what we're meant to do is serve the end-to-end collector experience,
Mhm.
from if it's trading cards from a sealed pack to a graded card.
Mhm.
That entire experience can be done on Dilly on your couch 24 hours a day, right? You never
Mhm.
actually have to get up to accomplish that. When you break that down into little pieces, it is, buying sealed, submitting it for live rips on our live streams, submitting cards for, grading at PSA straight
Mhm.
from your profile. All of that happens on Daily. We launched January 27th of 2025. So it's
Okay.
been like a year and a half or something like that. And it's been a pretty wild time.
Well,
Um, it's lined up pretty interestingly with this broader interest in trading cards and everything
Right?
else. So it's been, yeah,
Was I don't know
crazy.
because it's like it's yeah, it is very crazy, and it kind of like you said, it kind of lines up with all this hype that like started like happening with like all these like trading cards, and like I don't know, Pokemon has like blown up. I see some people are complaining that Pokemon is like what it is kind of like cooling off, so there's not so many prices are going like a little down. So it's just very funny to me how like comparable it is to the crypto experience, but at the same time it's like people really don't want to hear that.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where like when there is if when there are buyers and sellers of
Mm,
anything, there's people with various motivations involved, right?
right.
And so what's interesting about like Pokemon is there are people who love Pokemon because it's so cute and they grew up with
Right.
it and they play the game and all of these things. And so you've got this, you know, honorable group, and then you've got the people who are in it to make money and
Right.
do and scalp and buy and resell. And so there's always tension between the honorable lovers of the IP and the people who are there for financial reasons.
Right.
The reason people get a little frustrated with the crypto comparisons is I feel like from the outside looking in, people often don't see any honorable group within crypto and trading. Now, I would disagree. I think we're all building really cool tech and
I
getting
know.
excited about amazing things, but I do think that's where that tension comes from is
Yeah.
like this perception of like being honorable versus not and all of
Yeah.
that. But I mean,
Yeah.
I think you can do both, right? You can love these IPs and play the games and enjoy them, and also appreciate the fact that demand for it creates value for what you own, and that's a good
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. Okay. And so also, like going back to just like talking about Dilly. I remember I like one of the. I mean, I have seen Dilly streams before because you guys also stream on Blaze. And by the way, we're live on Blaze and on X, and I think on Twitch. I don't pay attention to Twitch at all because it scares me. But we're definitely live on Blaze and on X. I just go live on there and I forget about it. Um, but. So I remember I tuned into, and that's kind of how I got to talking more to Whitehouse, because Whitehouse had a stream with you guys, and like you were opening packs of like Pokemon, and he was getting like a hit in every pack, and it was crazy. It was like a crazy stream. And I was like, why do people like? And I was sitting there, and I always kind of wonder, why do people open packs on stream? Like, what is that about? But then, like, me and my house had so much fun that day, and then I also like participated in another stream where somebody was opening packs for me for like Azuki, and it was so exciting. It's like when you have like people watching the stream and like commenting, and you're like with your friends, and like somebody's opening the packs for you. It's like you guys get to experience it all together. So I was like, okay, now like Dilly's starting to make more sense. And then like he told me that you can actually like buy the sealed product. Like you said, you don't even have to get off of your couch. Like you guys do everything. So like you can buy the sealed product. Somebody can open it for you. Then like you get it vaulted, and then like you can also like submit it to get graded, and like you guys store it, and it's like it's just like such a cool thing. Okay, and this is what I wanted to ask, is like, where do you guys store the cards? It's like I was getting anxiety because I was like, I really want to send like maybe some of my Azuki cards, but I'm like so scared. I don't know why. But it's like,
I think you're scared because it's like, you know, this stuff is disappearing. Where is it going? It makes
right.
sense to me. So we have a warehouse that
Hmm.
we store all of our stuff in. Specifically, our raw trading cards are actually we have like a couple of different like spaces, and one of them
Hmm.
is humidity controlled.
Oh,
So
okay.
all of our space is climate controlled, but
Hmm.
humidity, it's a little more intense than just like the AC, right?
Yeah.
So we do have a humidity controlled space where all of our ungraded or
Hmm.
raw cards are stored, and any other products that we think are at risk from like
Hmm.
a humidity perspective, that we store all of that in. And then we've got no just like more typical climate controlled spaces for everything else. So we just have a secure warehouse space that we store everything in.
Okay, and this, I don't know if you're gonna like this question or not, but I was really curious. Okay, but like, what happens if like something happens to like DYLI as like a company, and I'm not saying that it's going to happen or like I'm trying to like FUD or be negative, but it's like I was just curious, like what happens because you guys are like storing all these cards, and they're like, you guys probably have a lot of expensive stuff in there. So what happens if like for some reason something happens to DYLI as a company, or like what if like an earthquake happens, or like I don't know, something happens.
So I mean, we have insurance. So if
Right.
this is like a theft or like destruction or something, like we have insurance that covers replacement. So our goal would be to replace products that are lost, or in the event that's impossible or whatever, then probably cash that is equivalent to the value of it. If DYLI were to actually like go out of business or shut down, we would there would be a tail period of returning people's
Okay,
products.
okay. Yeah.
We wouldn't be able, the way when you send us stuff, you're not giving up control. You're essentially
Right.
consigning it to us. So if we were to like go into bankruptcy, we couldn't sell your cards to cover our debt. That's not how it works. It's still
Okay.
your cards. So, if we were to have to shut
Yeah.
down, all those assets would still be sent back to the owners. They wouldn't be like, taken by us to like cover debt or anything. That's just not the way it's set up.
It's like I just had to ask because I've been
Sure. I
wondering.
mean, I
It's
think
like
it's a good question.
I don't know anything about this stuff,
It's
And
a
so,
good question. I've seen other things out there like where the terms and conditions are kind of crazy, right? Like
right?
there was that whole story about that guy who lost his entire like Lego collection to something similar, where he
Oh
actually like
no.
gave up control of his collection to them, and he like was no longer the actual owner under their terms. So
No.
it's a worthwhile question, but
Well, I feel like it is. I feel like it is,
all
and I was
good
like,
over here.
I had to ask because I was like so curious, and it's like I feel like that guy that like lost his Lego collection, he probably didn't read the fine print and like didn't know what he was doing, which is so scary. To like I don't know, and yeah, so I just was like I was wondering these things, and I was like, man, it's kind of scary, like sending your stuff like over to like somebody else and kind of like letting them take care of it, but so I just like I had to ask. I had to know. And then I really wanted to, and I have my questions like written too because I start like blanking like after like 2 seconds. Um. So, and I think you guys also have like a gotcha, like something like a gotcha, but it's like boxes. So like it's not like because usually they represent them as like claw machines, but they're like you guys have boxes. So it's like so at one point
So
I
it's
was like
different.
looking. It's different. How is it different?
I mean, listen, at the end of the day, there is this trend, particularly in like sort of Web3 collectible platforms, um, to dress it all up, but they're like mystery box products, right?
Right.
Where, there's, if you go to any trading card or collectible show today, you'll see repacks and mystery boxes everywhere. And a lot of companies have found ways to bring those online. So our mystery box is the same as somebody else's claws, the same as somebody else's like pack or whatever, right? At the end of the day, what it is paying a price, a random number generator decides what you get. And based on what you get, you have options. You can sell it back to us. You can keep it. You can do whatever you want. The DYLI mystery boxes are sort of they're built thematically, and they're built to kind of act as a top of funnel entryway to broader collecting, right? So we have sealed mystery boxes, we have Pokemon ones, One Piece ones, and other ones that are meant to kind of serve your specific interest rather than sort of just act as like maybe like a casino style, like try to get something better. It's why don't you try to start building a collection in this IP
Right.
you're interested in, and then maybe move on from them, right? Maybe just start using the marketplace, start using like submitting packs to be ripped, like whatever it may be. We don't think that those are kind of the whole platform. They're just sort of one of many verticals and options for getting a collection started or having a little fun while you do your broader collecting and sort of just management of your hobby in general.
Yeah. What is the most popular like features of the platform um that people use the most, I guess. I'm sorry, my daughter's crying.
It's okay. I can answer the question. uh, there's actually like a variety of features that sort of different, I guess, like user segments use more than others.
Mm-hmm.
Those mystery boxes are very heavily used, right? You can't pretend they aren't, right? They're like, if you see like what's going on Solana with like Collector Crypt and all of them, like
Yeah, yeah.
those numbers are bananas, right? Like there's absolutely interest in these mystery box
Mm-hmm.
experiences, and they do quite well. But what's really cool about DYLI is we see utilization of a lot of other features that are, less common. Like we have DYLI is actually a very social place, right? So we have chat and we have trade, and people are executing trades all the time. So instead of just buying and selling for cash, people are exchanging items for items, and we do a lot of stuff with Pudgy Penguins, and they have these mystery boxes that we also can live rip. Live ripping is a huge feature. Everyone loves
Yeah.
getting involved with live ripping. But if we open 5 boxes for you and you get 2 of the same thing, and someone else gets a different Pudgy toy, maybe you guys just do a trade. We don't take any fees on trades or anything like that, so you can just do item for item trades and chat and kind of build a collection that way, right? So we have a lot of people who utilize DYLI for that broader collection building sort of feature set that we have. And the latest thing, which I think we just tweeted about, is eBay is integrated into DYLI from the buy side, but we also just opened a beta on the sell side where you can actually dual list anything on DYLI, on both DYLI and eBay at the same time. And we've done like 5 figures worth of eBay sales
Wow.
in like 5 days since we started that beta. Which one just speaks to the size of eBay and how much liquidity is still on eBay. But
Mm-hmm.
2, as people, lean into our feature set and try something different, we're making sure that until DYLI is bigger than eBay, you still have access to that global liquidity that eBay brings, right? And you kind of have optionality in what you do with your collectibles. And that's just really important for, one, the trust that you mentioned, but also just
Yeah.
actually achieving your goal. If you're trying to sell something, you should be able to sell it to the most people at the most people you can at once.
And like to me, as like somebody who lives in Europe, this is like really cool because it is so expensive for me to like get stuff shipped to my house from if I'm wanting to buy something from the US, and there is a lot of like collectible stuff out there, but they just can't like necessarily ship it because it's just so expensive. So I was like really thinking about just like sending some cards or like some stuff to you, because then what Whitehouse told me about is like it just goes like you guys, like everybody has their profile, and like whenever you guys receive stuff, you just like document it, you digitalize it, and it goes into your profile. And then not only that, like you just said, like the eBay thing was really cool because you can just like list it and like sell it or do whatever from eBay, and like I don't have to do anything, and you guys do basically all the work. You guys just do all
Yeah,
the work, and people are just having fun at home.
exactly. That's the mission. You have fun, and we do all the work.
Wow.
Um, but yeah, I mean, to your point, there's one guy. We have a very healthy and active like European and Asian community that does
Uh-huh.
exactly what you're saying. Where
Yeah.
there's at least one person that I know for a fact their DYLI vault address
Yeah.
is their main address on eBay,
Wow.
because at
Yeah.
least once they accidentally sent something that they bought that they wanted shipped to them to me. So I know that their default address on eBay is their vault address that they have. So there are
Yeah,
people who exclusively shop directly into DYLI.
yeah, I'm the
Now
same.
That is
they
so
have to
funny.
submit a vault submission every time they do that, because
Mhm.
otherwise we have no idea what's going on.
Mhm.
But we have a flow with them, and they do that. And there's a person who vaults from eBay. It feels like it's daily. Um,
That's
and
crazy.
and that's fine, right? That's great. Like that's what it's there for. But it is definitely a side effect of what we've built, that we're able to kind of create global access to things that might have otherwise been a little too hard for you to buy if you're based in Europe, and there's all this shipping issues and whatever. For something in the United States, like now you actually could get access to it, and if your
Mhm.
goal is to just keep it vaulted and resell it in the future, like your job is done, right? You bought it, it's with
Right.
DYLI, and you'll deal with it later. if you do ultimately want to take ownership of it, at least you can kind of accrue a bunch of things and do a shipment all at once instead of
Right.
like dealing with this a lot over time.
Right, right. And that's also really cool. Like you said, like you could just like accrue like a whole like, you know, a good amount of stuff and then send it all at once instead of like sending it like little by little. It's just such a cool concept and it really and at first as I told you, like I was really like not understanding why Dilly was cool until I really like started like really sitting there like thinking about it. I was like, "Man, this is so convenient. It's crazy." And as we were talking about like you know shipping stuff and like you know opening packs live on the stream and also like the gotcha machines, I want to like talk to you guys and maybe Whitehouse can tell us how much we can talk about this, about like what he's doing with you guys. Is that okay? Because I'm so
That's up to him.
excited.
Yeah,
Yes,
you go
there's
ahead.
one thing I know that I can talk about. So literally in the past, I think I told you, Snow, in the past 3 days, I think I sent from the UK to the Dilly guys over in Florida about $35,000 worth of Azuki stuff. Um, Probably my most nerve-wracking parcel that I've ever sent. But all that entire collection is getting vaulted up on Dilly. And this is Grails. I've saved in the bulk this time. So this is Grails all the way up from Portrait Rares all the way down. I think the minimum level is like Super Rares. So that's 35k worth of products, and all of that's going to be loaded into a new box soon, very soon.
That's really cool. And I wanted to ask, what did I want? Oh my gosh, I was like, I'm starting to blank out and it's just so bad. Um, it's like we were talking about like the Azuki stuff. Ah, I'm like literally. It just happens to me sometimes. But I'm just super excited because again, I remember I was like on a different stream and somebody was like opening like Azuki packs for me. It was so much fun. So I'm like so looking forward to like having Azuki on Dilly because at the end of the day, I'm sorry, I'm not like really into Pokemon. Pokemon really pisses me off. And like Whitehouse knows this. I'm not into Pokemon. I like Lorcana. I'm a Lorcana enjoyer.
There's quite a bit of Lorcana on Dilly. You should
Yeah.
check that out. There's quite a bit of Sealed and singles.
And also I was like really kind of like I didn't know about this Jonah, but you mentioned it that people can trade like right on the platform, which is like such a cool thing. I had no clue like you could do that. So I just need to start using it and like
There's too many
just be on there.
features.
Too like
Yeah.
really truly there's like so many features. And it's like it's just crazy. And so I that's why I wanted to come on here and we kind of talk about everything that a person can do on the platform because I feel like unless you're like maybe like a heavy user, like people like me that are just like they've seen it but they kind of like don't really know much about it. It's like I like interviewing like people like you so then we can learn all about it. But I'm like, I just can't believe that Whitehouse sent so much stuff to you. Oh, this is what I wanted to talk about. So, because when people sent like bulk, right? He sent a bunch of bulk. How do you guys process it in? And like, how long does it take? Like, if it's something like that, how
Well,
does
it
it
depends on
work?
the TCG. So things like Pokemon, we have robots that do everything. It's
Oh,
amazing.
wow.
Yeah, life is great. Games like, Vibes or Azuki that are a little younger and are still kind of finding their way is now we have like efficient workflows, but it's totally manual when it's bulk like that, right? Now,
Wow.
once we've done the intake, it's sorted by set and number and all of that, so it's easy for us to pick in the future. Um, but on intake, it is certainly an effort. And White House, and I'll tell you what, with Izuki, we don't have much exposure to it. Like pretty much everything we have so far has come from one person, right? And
Yes.
so we are learning as we go around
Wow.
rarities and all of those things. And so sometimes it takes a little longer, but everything, falls into our workflows and becomes more efficient with time. But like hypothetically, if Azuki is to have more sets and grow and become like a flourishing TCG, its data will be sort of added to the systems that make automation just super easy. And the sorters and the machines that we use will be able to recognize them and
Wow.
them just like anything else.
So like Whitehouse with the shipment is kind of like testing you guys.
It sure is. It sure is.
There was one parcel that arrived from a seller in the US that was completely unsorted, and that was very much bulk, like commons, uncommons, the full lot. So that was unsorted, so they manually processed that. But yeah, the parcels that I sent, I gave them a little saving grace and I sorted that out. So it
Oh
should,
wow,
fingers
yeah.
crossed, be a bit easier. But there's still the process of photography and uploading for brand new products like that. So there's
Wow.
still that manual touch.
So do you guys take the pictures of the products manually there, or do you have like something that can help you with that?
It depends on the product, right? Like for example, like trading cards, there's really
Mhm.
great scans online. So for product
Mhm.
pages, we use online, like clean online scans
Mhm.
that really reflect what the product is. Now, obviously, if you're considering grading a card or anything like that, you need to see the actual literal card that you want. So
Mhm.
every card, I think there's a threshold. It has to be worth more than like $15 or something. But any card that is of a value, you can also submit a photo request for to actually see the edges and the actual card that would be submitted if you were to submit a card for grading or anything like that. But our actual like product SKUs, our
Mhm.
goal is to use the most official and like beautiful image we can get our hands
Mhm.
on. If it doesn't exist or like it's a one of one because like an artist signed the card,
Mhm.
then we'll do a scan of that card and we'll
Mm.
use our scan because it's the only way to get that photo.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I wanted to ask I wanted to kind of ask Whitehouse how did he get like involved with Dilly, because now he's an ambassador and that's kind of exciting. So how did you become an it's like how did you become an ambassador, you cardboard addict?
Yeah, I passively knew about DYLI very early on last year. Very much when they were dealing with the merch that you were talking about at the
Mhm.
beginning. Um, so I think it was tail end of last year I started using boxes, and
Mhm.
then gachas and TCG really popped off this year. And
Mhm.
I saw Dilly had back then and still now some of the best EV rates. Um, one sec, can you guys still hear me?
Yeah,
Yes.
we can hear
Ah,
you.
there we go. There we go. Um, yeah, so they had really good rates. So I thought, you know what, I'll give it a try and test it out, and it just worked really seamlessly from the get go. Um, so I got hooked, and then I noticed a few little things that could have been tweaked or fixed. So I just thought I'd hit the team up and see if they could manage it. And I think that first interaction, that first fix suggestion, within like 30 minutes, the team had fixed it. So I was like, okay, yeah, that's cool, that's different. Hit them up with a few more, and it really varies from like 10 minutes to a few hours where certain things, depending on severity and importance, get fixed. So that personal touch of actually being able to have an impact on things that matter really hooked me in. On top of the features like submitting my own vaults, whether that's sealed from other gacha platforms or my own personal collection here, I was just hooked, and it's grown from there. Like was mentioned earlier, like the eBay integration came in, I think 2 weeks ago now, and it's already on five figures. So just things that benefit collectors, sellers, every side of the coin is kind of covered with these features, which is the ultimate goal. Like we want as many features as possible that actually benefit people, that open up that liquidity pool, that expand horizons in this space. So that's what
I
I'm
can
really
see
enjoying right now.
I can see you behind me. My husband can't find my daughter's like pacifier, and like she's just having a fit back there, and that's also distracting me. I'm so sorry.
Don't worry.
And then yeah, so I also wanted to ask more about after like the cards that came from Whitehouse with Azuki, you guys said that there's going to be like another type of like box where we're going to be able to to like kind of play a little bit of gacha?
Yes. So Azuki exclusive, no filler content. I think the baseline lowest value item in there is about $18.50. It changes pretty much every day because of Azuki sales on eBay, but it's around the $20 line, just a touch under $20. And the highest end grail would be the pre-sale case, so the seal case of all the booster boxes, pre-sale variants. So that's got eligibility for the God packs. I think that's around $1,800 now, and I've decided to whack in two of those for now. There's two portrait rares, alt arts, sealed boxes, sealed retail boxes, sealed packs. Just everything Azuki right now. There's some alpha in there. Just basically the go-to for Azuki content. And the eventual goal there is with the fees just being able to buy back cooler and cooler stuff. So right now it's TCG, but there's IRL things from Azuki activations, like the New York party about 3 years ago, Las Vegas party. There's IRL things like Zippo exclusive collabs, posters, just various things that I can just start filling in.
Twin tiger jacket.
Yes, I've no joke. I've got 12 of those in my attic. I claim so many of those.
Wow. Wow. That
Yes.
is crazy. That is just crazy. But yeah, that's just like such a. So is Dilly going to be the first platform to basically offer a Juki TCG in the gacha type of
I,
thing?
I believe so because it's user generated. Anyone theoretically could do it. So someone could come in and just say, "Here's a PR only box." It probably wouldn't be financially viable.
Right.
Um, but yes, so I know they've got the anime chain version, but I think that's anime in general. So I think that includes Pokemon, One Piece, various things like
Oh,
that. And I
okay.
don't believe it's currently stocked with any
Mm.
Azuki.
Mhm.
Whereas this is dedicated solely to Azuki products. So TCG starting out and then expanding to those kind of smaller but cooler items.
That's just. I think people are gonna be excited about it. Have like you, Jonah, like you as somebody who works at Dilly, have you guys had people asking for Azuki stuff or not really?
Um, I don't know if they've been asking me
Oh,
per
okay.
se, but like the point of Dilly is we are anybody can build the market on Dilly,
Mhm.
right? Like
Right.
we're not trying to be this monolithic card
Mhm.
shop that like decides what you can and can't buy. We want to bring buyers and sellers together in the most efficient and rewarding way possible. And so, you know, what it takes for a market to appear is someone like Whitehouse saying, I'm going to
Mhm.
do this, right? Like
Mhm.
I'm going to leverage what like the Dilly infrastructure to distribute Azuki TCG in this way. And from there, you know, people can be like, oh, I'm going to use Dilly to buy it. Oh, well, then
Mhm.
maybe I'll use Dilly to sell. And then all of a sudden there's someone else that is in Whitehouse competing with
Right.
Whitehouse
Right.
and vaulting and selling. And then the markets flourish, right? So it's
Mhm.
one of those things where I'm actually more excited when it is user or like our users are buyers and sellers, right? We have all
Mhm.
sorts of users. When it's user generated markets,
Mhm.
that's really exciting, right? Like, of course, we love partnering with IPs and doing all of that, and we seek that out. But
Mhm.
in this case, you know, this is one of those incredible things where Whitehouse, who is now actually, yes, also a Dilly ambassador, but of his own accord was like, I'm going to leverage Dilly to do something with my massive Azuki TCG collection, and
Right.
that's incredible. Like that's exciting. Um, Hopefully, what that does is it inspires a lot more utilization of Dilly to enjoy that TCG and to expand it. But
Yeah.
you know, time will tell.
Yeah, we're gonna see, but I think people, because it's like it's especially because as I told you guys, like I'm from Europe, like he's also from Europe, but like all the people from the rest of the world hadn't like really had a chance to like buy like as much Ozuki stuff as like people in the US. So I think it's gonna be like really exciting, and it just gives such a great opportunity for like people like me to be able to like participate and collect early and like I don't know. Oh, okay. This is another question I had because it's like I'm like blanking out and then they're coming back to me. Um, but this is another question I had. So whenever you are submitting cards to be graded through Dilly, how like how does the payment for that work? And like, how much does it cost to basically use DILI to grade something? And do you usually like, do you only do PSA or do you guys do like other companies as well?
Yeah, so it's all super straightforward, right? If you have a card in your inventory,
Mm-hmm.
when you select that card, you'll have options like list, ship, grade, whatever. And if you choose grade, you'll see all of your options. So
Mm-hmm.
obviously, grading is in a weird place right now. A lot of the cheaper options do not exist.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
Essentially, pretty much every major grader has turned off their value options, and so only
Wow.
the main options are out there. So right now, we offer only PSA and Beckett
Mm.
grading, but we have the ability to offer PSA, CGC, Beckett, and Tag, and we'll turn Tag back on once they figure their stuff out. Um, we have good relationships with all of them,
Mm-hmm.
whether that's like a dealer relationship or otherwise. So it's really just a matter of offering what our users are sort of asking for and doing. But right
Mm-hmm.
now, you could submit to PSA or Beckett, and you can submit literally any card you want in your inventory. And like I said, any card above like a threshold value of it's either $10 or $15, you can also request a photo of to make sure it meets the standards to maybe get the grade you're looking for before submitting it.
Okay. And then I wanted to ask you guys, I know that grading is like a very it's an interesting business, and I feel like it will be hard to ever compete with PSA. But have you guys ever thought about doing like grading in house? Like, is that something that's ever even like possible to think about? Because you guys do everything already. Why not grade cards?
I mean, that would be a beast. We've never thought about it. I don't think we will. Um, it is. I mean, I think Tag is a great example of how hard
Yeah.
it is, right? Like
Mm.
Tag has, in my opinion, a superior product
Mhm.
to PSA, right? The slab itself is beautiful.
Mhm.
They have a really great value proposition from the way they do their grading, right? It's more consistent. It's less human. There's less of a human element. Now people can test that, right? There's a lot going on
Yeah.
there, but Tag has done a great job of infiltrating the market,
Mhm.
but they're nowhere near being a top producer of graded cards, right?
Yeah.
They're like I think they might even still be below SGC. I would need to double check that. But like they're the perfect example of someone doing everything right and how
Mhm.
hard the grind is to
Yeah.
still overtake. PSA does quite a bit that is difficult to understand, and
Mhm.
yet they remain the top uh, grading company by a massive margin, right? It's not even close. So to enter that market without that being your sole focus, I think would be super risky and might not yield the best results. Um,
Um.
but it is a cool industry, and we love supporting it through
Yeah.
sending cards. I just don't think that we would start grading them ourselves.
Yeah. Well, because you were talking about like what if you guys ever had the opportunity to expand like in maybe not just in the US, but if you had like more locations worldwide and if like business did well. I feel like a big part of like grading is like people trusting the company that's doing it. And so since PSA has been around for so long, they have basically people trust them a lot. They've established themselves because they've been around for so long. So imagine if your business grew so much and people trust you, because people do, like, it does take trust. So you guys are building that trust right now. I think that one day maybe.
You know what? We'll never say never, right? Anything's possible. On a long enough time frame, maybe we'll do everything,
Yeah. I
right?
think
Maybe we'll
that's
open
just
some
so
restaurants.
interesting. I just think that it's so interesting because you do so much, and it's like that's the only basically basically one of the only things that probably you guys like source out is like grading. I don't know about like when you're producing the print on demand stuff, like do you have a company, like do you guys do
Yeah,
it
that
yourselves
no, that's
or
through a partner. We
okay,
have
you
a
guys
partner
have
on
a
that
partner.
side.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did a lot. one of our co-founders did quite a bit in merchandise production before we
Mm-hmm.
started DYLI together, and so
Mm-hmm.
we have a really strong background in that space and a lot of relationships.
Mm-hmm.
We don't necessarily offer or whatever, but we can kind of produce just about anything
That's really
if we
cool.
wanted to. Yeah, whether
And
it's
yeah,
print on demand or like full production,
mm-hmm.
we
Yeah.
we have access to quite a bit.
And so yeah, I wanted to ask you. So you have been with Dilly since the beginning of like the company. You're one of the people who were there when it was founded.
Hmm.
I didn't. Yeah, I didn't know. I wanted to ask.
Yes,
And and so
we have three co-founders: myself, Alex, and Scott. Scott is who you watch rip packs most of the
okay.
time, though we have had a couple other guest rippers, and we're growing that team. And then Alex built pretty much every single thing that you've done on Dilly.
Wow. So is he a dev?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, that's really cool. And what do you do? What is your specific job?
Everything in between. Um, yeah, I think probably if I had to say it, I'm like ops and finance, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I deal with all of the frustrating stuff,
Yeah.
manage our teams, do all of our hiring, a little bit of product manager, feature building,
Mm-hmm.
managing campaigns on both the production and the marketing side. So
Mm-hmm.
quite a few hats, but
Yeah.
I get around. I talk a lot. I go on these. I do most of these stuff
That's
like
really
this.
fun. um, and then I also wanted to ask you guys. So whenever you started Dilly, how was marketing it as like as a product? Like, was it difficult or like was there kind of like demand for it already, and you guys kind of filled that? Like, how did that go?
Yeah, so when we were building it, one of the things that we did was we went out and started pitching using Dilly for a product
Mhm.
drop to a
Mhm.
bunch of IPs and stuff.
Mhm.
And so by the time we launched, we sort of had plans for like, I can't remember the actual number, but let's just say like 10 drops with cool companies. And so, like when we launched, we did something. So we're on the Abstract blockchain. We did
Mhm.
something with Abstract called AbSocks. That was its own
Mhm.
really fun thing. And then we did a drop with Atari, the video game company, for like these
Mm.
collectible patches. And we did a
Mhm.
drop with um, Goblin Town for these collectible vinyl toys of their
I
Grimple
remember
character.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so essentially what we did was we used our tooling and infrastructure to provide like a really good sales experience for the
Yeah.
IPs, which brought their communities in and got them excited about what we were building. And so we were able to build a customer base through these sort of like IP collaborations.
Mhm.
And then we built out our feature set and sort of gave people a reason to stay, I guess. But that
Mhm.
was kind of our strategy out the gate. And I think it worked pretty well. And yeah, then I think that was like January 27th, we launched. I think we started getting into 3P, like Pokemon, Magic the Gathering, stuff
Mhm.
like that, in like May. So we
Mhm.
started only first party IP. Like if it wasn't the actual seller, it wasn't on Dilly. And then we expanded from only first party to all collectibles within that first like 4 or 5 months of being around.
Wow, that's really crazy. But that's also really interesting. It's just I'm always interested also into like marketing and how do like new companies, especially like yours, like how do you guys like start it off and how do you get people's attention? I also wanted to ask you, do you guys have people on the platform that are not crypto native? Like, is there a way to know
Sure.
that? Is like if normal people just use it?
Yeah, there's a few kind of like proxies that you can
Mhm.
use, right? So, like a very simple, rough example would
Mhm.
be you can pay for stuff on Dilly with crypto or with a credit card, right?
Mm.
If an account has never in its history ever used crypto and only credit card, that's like a rough proxy for someone with
Mm.
no crypto,
Yeah.
interest or alignment. Now, is it necessarily true? No. I mean, it could be someone who
For
does quite a bit
sure,
in
for sure.
crypto and only uses credit card, but that's like that's a simple example of like a rough way to slice it to get to reach that goal. Um, but there's a few different kind of ways to kind of carve it out, and we certainly do have some non Web3 users. It varies quite a bit, and honestly, I don't know exactly where we stand
Mm.
today. But the last time we did some form of assessment of it, it was about 20% of our
Okay.
users had no association. And I think that's pretty good because we, at least thus far, have only done organic marketing, right?
Yeah.
And our core communities, of course, have started in
Yeah,
crypto
for
because
sure.
that's kind of where we came from.
Mhm.
And so we kind of are speaking to that community first and foremost.
Mhm.
As we look out to the next 12 months, we're going to have quite a bit of investment in
Mm.
broader marketing, paid media, those sorts of things, where the reach, of course, we're still targeting a core user base that's in crypto, but that reach will extend well beyond it. And so I am curious to see how those percentages change as we invest more in like a broader marketing effort and like more targeted campaigns to different
Yeah.
features that may or may not speak to every customer.
Yeah. Do you guys only usually do marketing like through X, or are you guys active on like other platforms? Because I think you guys have like a YouTube channel, but like where, so if you are going to try to expand like your target audience to like more, to capture more people who are not crypto native, where do you guys think that you can find them the best way? Like, is it always on X? Because I feel like recently I've been seeing more like TCG players on X, and I don't know if that's the best place to find them though. Where do they congregate?
Well, actually, a lot of them congregate in real life, believe it or
Right?
not. Uh, I mean, we have accounts on all the major platforms. X is certainly our most active one. When it comes to paid media, I think it's kind of playing everywhere and seeing
Mm.
where you get the most response. Um, one thing it never fails is if you can sell products at the cheapest price as soon as they come out, right?
Yeah.
That's how you get a non Web3 customer to use your platform is offer them what they want as cheaply as possible, as early as possible,
Oh,
right? And
that's
so
great.
we do have pre-sales, we do have access to certain products, and so doing paid media that lets the world know that that is happening is
Mhm.
step one, right? Even
Mhm.
giving people the chance to do what they were going to do anyway at the best price and the most convenient format. That's the mission. And can we tell that story as loudly as possible, right? So
Mhm.
like there's that sort of like marketing and just sort of getting, the reach out there, and there's a couple of others that are more targeted around like education on features, but I think like the core of your question is like, what do you want, where do you go? And that's
Mhm.
that's that's the most important question is at the end of the day, we need people to hear us.
Right.
How are they going to hear us? I mean, our plans are pretty expansive. Like we'll even test out, Reddit
Mhm.
and what does it take to educate all of these LLMs on what we're doing and everything else, right? Like because we want people to discover us in their normal flows and their normal search,
Mhm.
right? If you're a Pokemon fan and you Google like the latest set, you know,
Mhm.
pre-sale or live now, I want DYLI to show up. I want you to be
Right.
aware of that opportunity, and where you look to discover those things is where I want to be. So it'll be like trial and error, but we'll actually be trialing, which will be good.
Well, that's really awesome. And then I wanted to ask you like some fun questions about, are you a collector yourself? And are you like, would you like collecting?
Yes, I am, and I have my own like sort of physical collections and all of that, but I also was massively swept up and excited about and involved in even digital collecting, right? So I was
Mm-hmm.
in very deep in 2021 during the NFT crazes and all of that, and I was very involved throughout because I just loved it, and I think I still have a pretty nice collection of various NFTs and collectibles online. But in terms of just physical stuff, I do go all the way back to Pokemon, and I actually spent quite a bit of time collecting Yu-Gi-Oh when I was
Okay.
younger. But trading cards generally have been a big part of my life all throughout my life. And I think that's probably my primary. I'm like looking around my room to like be reminded of any of my other crap. But I think I'll say TCGs more generally, and then I did get really excited about and still am excited about digital collectibles and NFTs.
That's awesome. I know Whitehouse likes cards, but Whitehouse, do you like to collect anything else?
Yes. I when Jonah mentioned he digs through his crap to like find what he has, I like to do like an annual summary of the junk that I've found in my house that I've forgotten that I've bought. So it really ranges. Like, believe it or not, one of the very first collectibles I bought was I think it was a CGC graded Playboy magazine, the very
Oh,
first issue. Yeah, yeah, straight up. The very first issue, that iconic Marilyn Monroe cover one. I got
oh
like a
And
wow.
you
free.
can prove that you're also an honorable person because it's encased in plastic. You
It's
couldn't
just
open it if you
art.
wanted to.
It's
Yeah,
just art. Like
Right?
it's all about
I
history,
keep it
baby.
in a dark cupboard that I never open or show anyone. So there's nothing creepy about that. Yeah,
Do you
that
still have that?
yeah, I've got the full first set, like first 12 months, and they're very,
Wow.
very, very valuable. So that was my
Wow.
first dip. So it
Like
was in
good
the peak.
grades, like solid condition too.
So the first edition is, I think, grade 5,
Mm,
which isn't bad for like a, what is it, like 70-year-old magazine now.
for sure.
All the others range up to like 7 or 8. So yeah, it was the peak of NFTs, and I took profits, and I was like, okay, what can I actually have as a collectible that's like fungible? So I did the usual. I did some nice watches and stuff, but then I was like, okay, I want something cool that I can maybe display. I never ended up displaying them, but you know, I dipped into that. What else? I think it was just that, and then swinging into trading cards. There's like various project specific collectibles, more from IRL activations. But yeah, that just full ported this year into TCG really.
Wow, that's crazy. I can't believe you bought like I mean it's really cool. I didn't even know that the first edition of like Playboy, like the very first one, had Marilyn Monroe in it. Now I'm gonna
Yes.
have to like go and like look it up because that's just so cool. Um but is there anything that I didn't ask you guys about or like something that you would like to share with everyone before we close?
I don't think you missed anything. I think, if I had anything to say to anyone who's listening is that like we built Dilly to have something for everyone.
Right.
Whatever part of your experience you need help with,
Mhm.
whether it's identifying the cards you're missing or just discovering a new something new or literally just getting free shit because you log in every day and click one button, right? Like Dilly offers it, and I think
Mhm.
we offer it in the most customer friendly and like smooth way possible. So there's no
Mhm.
reason not to check it out, dig around, and uh, find a reason to start collecting.
Right.
And of course, if you have any feedback or questions, there's a little chat icon in the bottom right that you can just press and talk to me, and I will respond.
Do you actually respond or is it AI?
No, I never set the AI up. It's just our team. It's only humans. Um,
I'm just gonna
one
go
day
in
I'll
and say
train the
hi then.
AI. I just got a ding. Did you just say hi?
No.
Somebody else just opened a ticket because I did just get a ding.
Oh, that is so funny. I'm just gonna be in there being like, "Hi guys, I hope that you're doing good." Oh
We're
no.
always doing great.
Oh, that's just funny. And yeah, just White House, did you wanna like say anything before we close? Like is there anything you I missed or like you wanted to share before we go?
No, I think Jonah summed it up perfectly. My job right now is just support the guys from
Mhm.
a collector first point of view. So what do I actually enjoy using as a
Mhm.
user? What do other people kind of look for? Often I'll bounce around entirely new users who have never used a project like this or who've only
Mhm.
used other gachas and this is their first experience and kind of absorb like a sponge what they love and what they don't love. and try and relay
Right.
that to the team in the best way possible. I'm really enjoying that aspect of things. So it's exciting to see Dilly grow. Again, the eBay feature came out 2 weeks ago, and that's already a hit. So it's just cool seeing things expand in a useful way. And yeah, me personally, just keep an eye out for the gacha coming soon, the box.
Yeah, I'm just so excited about that. Like, cause as I said, like I'm not like really somebody who enjoys. I became like a TCG fan because of Azuki. So it's like the first ever packs that I opened were my like Azuki packs, and then I've told Whitehouse I tested out some other packs just because I wanted to know what like other TCGs feel like and look like so I can compare them, and I was educated. But I've never really been into TCGs, so I personally am looking forward to the Azuki Gacha.
Good. It's good to hear.
Yeah, I'm just so excited about that. And yeah, and thank you guys for being my guests. I had a lot of fun. I hope that you had fun as well. And I'm sorry about my daughter and my husband like creeping behind.
No worries. That's how these
But
things
yeah,
go.
I know, right? Sometimes like stuff just happens, and it's like I just can't help it. Streaming, man. Um, but yeah, thank you guys so much. It was so much fun talking to you, and I'm looking forward to like using Dilly more. And yeah, and like testing out the Juki Gacha. I hope that other people are also going to get to be excited about it and test it out. And I will see you guys later. Thank you for coming. Bye.
Thanks for having
Bye.
us.
Thank you.